Okay, you guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. I just wanted to get on here before I get my work day going. You guys, I was off on Monday. I had to take care of some legal business on Monday, and I just went ahead and took off. So I definitely did enjoy that 4 day little weekend that we had because I'm definitely going to need it here within the next couple of days, even going into next week. As we will be moving next week, you guys. And, I just wanted to get on here to say this, because men just, they just have a very hard time understanding what women are asking of them. And I don't know what part you men are not getting. Um, Women have been very clear, men, on what we need and what we want when it comes to relationships with you. And we have told you, men, in our own words, what we are wanting when it comes to a partner. Not every woman is the same. We're all not looking for the same thing in a man. I don't care about no 6 feet, 6 inches, six figures, whatever you men are running around here with. Like, this is what women are looking for in a man. you know we want healthy mates. We want men who have done the work on themselves, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. I don't know what we're not understanding, men. And you guys are just running around here. Women are just, they're looking for the Chads, they're looking for the Tyrones. Look, at this particular point, I'm not looking for anything from you men, because you men are too much work. You're too much work for me. I deal with projects on my job. I don't want to deal with the project like a man. Okay. And we have told you what we're looking for in relationships. Women have told you men what our needs are. At least the same women who have standards and morals. And you men just refuse to listen to women. I have come to the realization that you men refuse to listen to women. You hear what you want to hear, and that what women are speaking, you refuse to hear it. And I don't understand why you men don't listen to women. And then you get on here and you mope and you complain that you don't have a girlfriend. You can't attract the women that you want. Maybe if you would just shut up and listen to women, then maybe you can get somewhere. I mean, I just don't get it. Ladies, I'm just going to say this. A lot of these men are just inept. Inept means they're just not going to get it. They're not going to get it because they don't have the bandwidth to be able to match where you're at in your life. And that is the result of these men not evolving. That's what this is coming down to. They're not evolving, ladies. They're not. They're just stuck. And they want you stuck where they're at because they are not evolving. And unfortunately, we're not going to be stuck with you men. Either you need to do the work, you need to do the healing, or you can get left behind. That's where this is going, men. I don't know how many times women have to tell you what they're needing and what they're looking for. And then you guys get on here and say, no, 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 not that way. Women don't know what they're talking about. We know exactly what we're talking about. And we have a mind of our own to make rational decisions when it comes to our lives. We don't need you to tell us what to think, how to feel, what we should be doing, all of this extra stuff that you men keep getting on here talking about. women need to do this, and women need, stop trying to control the lives of what we're doing. Stop trying to control our lives. We don't need an authoritarian figure or a dictator, because I know many of you are trying to be like your leader, Trump. We don't need that in our lives. I don't need a dictator. I don't need an authoritarian figure. I don't need a man over me telling me what I need to do and what I don't need to do. I am very smart, and statistically, women who have been single a very long time have a very high IQ. I don't need you. And yeah, for me to do the type of work that I do, men, you would literally need to have critical thinking skills, especially working with AI material and working for a company called Micro One, the company that I work for. I don't need you men to tell me what to think or how to feel or any of this extra stuff that you men keep trying to control women on. Instead of trying to control the lives of us, why don't you men control your own lives and improve and get better in what you're doing and figure out what you're not doing so that you can try to improve those areas? I have never in my life seen a group of men get online and try to control what women are doing. You don't get to control what we're doing then. And that's what you guys keep doing. We don't need to be dominated. We don't need to be controlled. We don't need any of those things. We really need you men to evolve. And the problem is you're not evolving. You're stuck. You're stuck. And you want women to be stuck with you. That's what's going on here. You're stuck and you want women to be stuck with you. Oh, how dare women get online and say that they would rather be single than to deal with us. And that's why you're going to die alone with cats, and that's why you don't have a man. And men at this particular point, it is not a flex to even have one of you. Less more to get married. I don't know why you men have convinced yourselves that getting married is the end goal. It's not the end goal for every woman that you meet. Some of us don't want to be married. Some of us don't desire to have relationships with you. Some of us don't desire to have children with you. Everybody has their own life path. We're not all going the same direction. And this is why it's important to vet your partners and know what you're looking for and what your partner you're pursuing is looking for. Because it's been many of times I've had men approach me, oh, I want a family. I want children. Well, then, sir, go find a woman who does not have any children, number one. Number two, go find a woman who wants children. It's not that hard. Why would you pursue a woman who has children or does not want children? It makes no logical sense what you men are doing. A lot of us don't want to have kids with you. A lot of us don't want to get married to you. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't make us have kids with you. You can't make us like or deal with you. And some of you men are just not likable people. You not only do you not have the bandwidth, like you don't have the personality we're looking for in a mate, you don't have the character, you don't have anything, you don't have these characteristics that would make a woman want to like deal with you. And I've said that on here. You men really need to get a personality instead of picking up the personalities of women, because ladies, these men are picking up on all of your traits and all of your attributions. Like these men really just want to be us. Somebody's got to tell you. Most of these men out here who hate women and are out here copying and mimicking women, they really want to be you because they think that they can be better than you. And it's really weird how men are constantly out here competing with women. Like, stop competing with us. We're not your competition. Other men are your competition. And that's how I know we have a gender problem. Because when you got men out here trying to be like women and you got women being like men because of survival, we have a problem. And it's too many of you zesty, tangy men out here for me. Like, it's too many of you out here. It's too many of you out here wearing skinny leg jeans and croc purses. It's too many of you out here. I mean, you're literally wearing the earrings. I remember back in the 90s, men could not wear earrings in one or both ears. And if a man wore an earring, it was a hoop ring. And it was a very small hoop ring. Okay. Now you got men out here with all kind of piercings, getting their nails polished, getting manicures and pedicures. It's too much for me. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a goddamn zesty, tangy epidemic. We have too many men out here trying to be like women. And there's just not enough of you men out here to even qualify for masculinity. I'm sorry. Where is the Adam's apples at? I remember when men had Adam's apples. Now you men are walking around here and you're more emotional and emotional than women on their damn periods and puberty. I'm done. I don't know how you ladies are out here dealing with these men. I don't know. They don't take you out on dates. They don't open doors for you. They don't pull out chairs. They don't court. They're too busy out here competing with you ladies. They're too busy out here competing with you and trying to replace you and be like you instead of just being their own identity. How dare women have their own identity and personalities? How dare women choose to be single and child free? How dare a woman choose peace over a piece of man? How dare this woman chooses the bear over choosing to be in a home with the man? And yet these men, like, they still don't get it. Like I told you, ladies, they don't have the bandwidth. They don't have the bandwidth. They don't have the hindsight to even be able to understand what they're supposed to be doing as men. And that's the sad part about it. And then they get on here and they complain and they complain and complain about women all day. And in actuality, men, you guys are the problem. You're the problem. Because I know plenty of men who are in happy, successful marriages with women, and they have no problem attracting the women that they want. So this isn't a woman problem, men. This is a you problem. If you can't get the women that you want, you need to maybe get out of the dating pool and figure out, what can I do to improve my life or improve myself so that I can get the woman that I want, instead of bitching and complaining on the internet about why women are not choosing you or why you keep getting rejected. If I know that I'm meeting a lot of men and I can't get the men that I want, right? And then when they get on here and say, oh, because yeah, you single women who are saying you're single by choice, you're just mad because the man that you want didn't wanted you. No, man, I'm just going to tell you what it is with me. I'm very, very picky about the types of people that I choose to deal with. And if you have nothing going on in your lives that's like productive or anything positive or anything that's even shows me growth in your life, I'm not going to deal with you. So no, it has nothing to do with the fact that the man that I wanted didn't want me. It was about the fact that I was so damn picky, I didn't choose him because he had so many red flags that I wasn't willing to put up with. And a lot of you men come with the red flags. Because why you come with the red flags, may I ask? Because you don't do the work. You don't do the healing. You're not healing yourself. You're not healing yourself. That's why you're coming with the red flags. In other words, you're not putting the work in to be a quality partner. Women who go to therapy, women who go to the gym, women who work on themselves, they begin to attract the types of men that they want and are attracting. You men who don't do the work, you don't do the healing, you don't pour into yourself, you don't improve your lives, your self-esteem, your confidence, you don't heal wounds, you don't heal trauma. You're the ones we're not picking. You're the ones that we're over skipping. Okay. I just need you to understand what's going on here. It's not because it's not because the men that we want are not choosing us. It's because the minute we see the red flags on you when you're coming towards us, and when we start getting in the relationship with you and you're coming with all of the love bombing and manipulation and gaslighting, we immediately check out. All of the inconsistency, the hot and cold behavior that a lot of you men come with because you're avoidance, and many of you are narcissistic, but you haven't been to an actual therapist to get diagnosed by one that you have a personality disorder or something along that line. When we see these red flags, we immediately check out because we've seen this pattern in other men before you. So that's what's going on, men. It's not because the men that we want are not picking us. It's because we realize that none of you are worth being picked. So we're skipping you and we're moving on, and you either get ghosted or rejected or something like that. And then you get on the line, you get on the internet and you say, yeah, because um you're just mad because no man is picking you. At this particular, like I said, at this particular point, being picked by a man is literally dangerous. So I don't see the need of being picked. I'm not a pick me. The pick me's want you to pick them. I'm not a pick me. So you're not even picking them, which further proves you're still the problem. And there's no pleasing you. And you men just keep moving the goalpost. You keep moving the goalpost because you're coming with toxic traits, because you're coming with codependency and all kind of mind games. And that's another thing that I check out on. Like when a man tells me he's going to do X, Y, and Z, I'm expecting you to do X, Y, and Z. You can't do X, Y, and Z. You're showing me you don't have integrity. You don't have consistency. You're not anyone with good intentions. And then you get on here and say, yeah, because there's still good men out here. Okay. Yeah, let's ask the 70 to 80% of women who divorced you how that worked out. Yeah, let's just ask them. And I'm a part of that 70 to 80% of divorced women. Let's ask the rest of them how they feel about these so-called good men out here. Because men, the math isn't mathing here. If 70 to 80% of women are divorced and they initiated that divorce, then that means a good 70 to 80% of you are not good men. So that those women who married you, were they supposed to choose better, or what happened there? What happened there? Because we all, right? We all can't choose wrong, right? If we're married. Okay, but you're only applying that to single women, and single women like myself are looking at divorced women, which I'm part of that, and they're saying, okay, if men are telling women to choose better, and 70 to 80% of women have divorced these men, then what's really out here for me if they're saying choose better? And by the way, men, those women don't want you 70 to 80% of men who were divorced by your wives. So, ladies, what am I saying? You may need to avoid divorced men. Yeah, since they're telling you to choose better, avoid the men who the wives divorced, because there was something wrong with that man and why that woman chose, or she chose him and left him. Because no good woman is going to leave a good man. No, no woman who's in a happy, healthy marriage is going to leave a good man. So if that woman left her husband, then he wasn't a good man, honey. Oh, honey, he's back out here in the dating pool for one of you to pick him. So maybe you need to kind of like listen to divorced women and see what they have to say. And then when you start getting yourself out here to meet these men, maybe you need to start questioning this man's past. Sir, have you ever been married, and what happened in your marriage? And if he goes on blaming his ex-wife and things like that, then he's the red flag you need to avoid. Because men like that will not take accountability for why their marriages ended. And this is why my ex-husband is having the problems he's having. He may be a great provider. He may have been a great father, but my ex-husband isn't too well when it comes in the romantic department. No, because his current wife is having all kind of problems. And I'll say it again, my ex-husband can't even focus on his goddamn wife he has now because he's so busy worried about what I'm doing. It's crazy how miserable you men are. You can have a good woman in your life and still fumble her, and then God will give you a second wife, and then you'll still turn around and won't take appreciation or value to the second wife. How many women are you men supposed to keep ruining out here? Because you ruined the Lover Girls era. You ruined the women who were out here pouring themselves out to you. You ruined that. Now we're stuck in the house paying bills, watching Netflix and Hulu and Paramount and Peacock, which I need to renew that. We're sitting in the house eating our popcorn and eating ice cream and trying to stay away from most of you. Like, we're not even out here. We're not even out here in the dating pool because we're trying to avoid the majority of you, because we're realizing that you're coming with so many problems. And you just, oh God, you just refuse to take accountability for anything. Oh, let's just keep blaming women. Let's just keep blaming women. We're going to keep blaming women. And that's why you're not getting picked. That's why women are avoiding you men, because I can't stand a man who doesn't like to take accountability. And holding fire to a man's feet or to his ass will make him burn and run. Yeah. So it's a lack of accountability, men. It's the lack of accountability. And see, all of this with the 4B movement wouldn't be going on if you men would take accountability for the shit you have been doing. Well, I haven't been out here hurting men, but have you been holding other men accountable who have been hurting women? Okay, then. Until you men start taking accountability for what you're out here doing to women, nothing's going to get better. Nothing's going to get better, men. You keep blaming women and all of this, it's not going to help anything, men. You're just proving why we need to just be single. And us being single is becoming a great thing. It's literally a flex to be single, man. I don't have to cook for a man. I don't have to clean for one. I don't have to pick up one behind one. I don't have to deal with senseless arguments or drama or any of that. I can wake up in peace. I can go to bed in peace. Don't you get it that women who are single intentionally and purposely, who are staying single, we have cultivated our lives not to include one of you in it? Like, I've built my whole entire life, my whole entire foundation, um without you, men. I hate to say this, men, needing you is becoming like non-existence in my book. Wanting to deal with you, it needs to be a benefit or an addition in my life. So not dealing with one of you is becoming a flex. It is actually a blessing to be single. It is, and it's a gift. And when you don't take care of your gifts, men, which are women who God have given you, well, then you don't get gifts. You get charcoal under the Christmas tree. And many of you are realizing the importance of having a woman. Or at least I hope you're learning your lesson. That without women, you can't really function out here. Many of you can't. You can't cook, you can't clean, you can't pick up a mop, you can't pick up a broom. You don't have the bandwidth or the skills to be able to even talk about you needing a woman if you can't do those things. And I think that should be a requirement, ladies. Instead of taking these men out on dates, maybe you guys should take them somewhere and see how they cook and clean. How do they? I mean, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but maybe y'all should start taking these men out and taking them to the laundromat to see how they do laundry, or take them back to your place to see how they would sweep and clean and mop. See if they even have the skills to be able to be in a relationship with you. And while you're doing that, make that to be a requirement that any man that you deal with should know how to cook, clean, mop, sweep, and etc. And if this man doesn't know how to do that, then he's not the man for you. Especially if you know how to do those things. Because men, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't deal with men who don't know how to cook. I know how to cook, and if you don't know how to cook, I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not cooking for you. Okay? And you may not know how to bake, or you might not know how to cook on the stove, but if you know how to grill or fish, maybe that could work. But if you don't have the basic skills in how to cook, I can't deal with you. And I don't like men who don't know how to cook. Because then that means that all of that labor in the kitchen is going to be on me, and I can't do that. I'm sorry. I don't cook for my kids every day. No. You guys, I cook twice a week now. When I were married, it was 3 to 4 damn times. And it became a habit with my ex-husband. He wanted to have this for lunch and that for lunch. And then I would learn that he was sharing some of his lunch with his coworkers or his friends. And then they were calling me, asking me to cook for them. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not cooking for you guys. Well, my wife don't even cook like this. Well, then maybe you need to teach your wife how to cook, or maybe find a new wife. And it just became a habit for my ex-husband. He just wanted me to damn cook every day. And I told him I'm not cooking. And now I feel great cooking twice a week. I feel great, you guys. Just cooking for me and my kids. I don't cook for men like that. You can't start a washing machine, man. You can't start a dryer. You can't start a crock pot. You can't pick up a broom, a mop, a cleaning rag. I mean, what the hell? So, ladies, maybe you should start telling these men, in order for you to date them, they have to have these basic skills down packed. And if I'm cleaning the kitchen, men, you could be cleaning the living room, one bathroom. I mean, it's about chores, taking turns and alternating those chores. But you men don't even want to do that. Oh, I go to work Monday through Friday. I don't feel like cooking and cleaning. I shouldn't have to do that. Well, then you should be paying all of the bills if that woman has to do all of that. If you're willing to pay all the bills, hey man, I wouldn't have a problem cooking and cleaning and doing shit for you every day. But I'm not going to be doing those things, and you're coming in talking about going 50-50 and being a half-ass provider. No, you don't get that. And you want to know how I deal with men like that? Well, I don't deal with them at all, but you ladies should start putting the roommate title on their heads, telling them that if you're going to come through and do half of the work in a relationship with me, then I'm going to treat you like a roommate. And this is for you women who love going 50-50 with men. Because I told you, going 50-50 with a man never works out. It's never going to work out, ladies. Never, ever, ever go 50-50 with a man. Not on a date, not in a relationship, and definitely not in a marriage. That 50-50 concept should only apply to services within the relationship. Meaning, you have a child with this man, he needs to contribute at least 50% of his time into the child rearing and parenting of that child. Okay? 50% within the household and chores. These men need to step their game up and be actual men and contribute in relationships. And if you men are looking for wives, and you're looking for submissive women, and you're looking for women who are going to cook and clean and do all of these things for you, you need to pay the bills. Because guess what, men? It costs to be the boss. You don't get to boss women around and tell women what you want of them, but not contributing anything. It doesn't work like that. A man who wants me to cook and clean and do this and do that, you're going to pay all of my bills, every last one of them, every last one of them. That's right. I didn't say anything about my children, man. My children are covered. You're going to pay all of my bills. Because guess what, men? I pay all of my bills without you. And my bills are way over 2,500 a month. Yeah. I've been trying to get two of them down, but I can't get two of them down. I've been my bills are pretty much fixed because they're on a flat rate. But yeah, that's how much my bills cost a month. And it's crazy what I spend that, and that ain't even including food. No. No, that ain't even including food. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. That's just the bills. That's just the bills in general. Well, maybe about 200 to 300 is in there. But yeah, my bills are way over $2,000 a month, man. And you guys are walking around here talking about going 50-50 with women, and there are women out here paying bills like that. You may need to go sit down somewhere. But first, before you go sit down somewhere, you need to get off of the internet. You need to get off of this ghetto internet. Put these stupid mics and podcasts down and really, really figure out what the hell am I really out here doing when it comes to women. And you're talking about I need a woman to follow me. Follow you where? The hell, the Hades? Because you're literally taking women there when you're creating these crazy fantasies and delusions about how you want women to be in relationships. Stop watching OnlyFans and all of these rom-coms, sitcoms, and actually come back to reality. And I think a lot of you are in just in delusion about women in relationships. And it's crazy where you guys' mindset is at when it comes to dealing with women. It's really, really weird how you guys view relationships with women. It's really, really weird. Ladies, I'm telling you, if you're going to deal with a man, he needs to be a provider. And a lot of these men are not providers. They're broke and they cannot take care of you, less more a family. And you need to really, really consider, why am I dealing with this man? Why is this man in my life? And what benefit is he of me in this relationship or connection? And once you can figure that part out, then you can move accordingly on what you need to do moving forward. But the amount of stress that I don't have not dealing with a man is just it is just untestable. It is an amazing feeling when you don't have to deal with the man 24/7. I'm sitting outside, I'm relaxing. I had a great day at work yesterday. And another misconception with these men is women who work don't have a man who can come in and pay the bills, and we have to work. I absolutely love working, man. I love the job that I do. I love the company that I work for. I don't mind getting up, getting on the clock, making money every day. And literally, I'm working from Monday to Saturday. I do take Sundays off sometimes, but here lately, I have been working on the weekends. I am literally, and I mean literally, working my ass off because I absolutely love making money and working men. Some of us actually love our careers that we're in and we love the jobs that we do. And I'm one of those women. Actually, yesterday I was offered to come back and do MA work virtually, but yeah, one of the companies contacted me and says, "Hey, we see that you have applied to our company, but we think this would be the better fit for you." Yeah. I'll still be working from home. I'll just be having two jobs from home. So, have I considered taking on the position? I don't know. You guys, my plate is just maxed out working for this company because the type of work that I do is very, very tedious. It's very tedious. I'm not going to lie, it's tedious. But I love doing what I do. So, these men who sit up here and they tell women, oh, you're just working because you don't have a man to pay the bills. Men, I've been pretty much working and making money my whole entire life ever since I divorced my ex-husband. So I mean that's been 15 years. You're not talking to women who are out here just working because we're lonely. And some of us, we love working. We love making money and we love taking your money too. But not only that, we definitely love making money because we don't have to worry about asking you for yours. So how dare a woman not need me, but then I need a woman to need me? There's too many contradictions there, men. So you need a woman to need you, but you don't need a woman to not need you. And we don't need you. We don't need you, men. I don't mind making money, but I also don't mind asking you for yours or taking what's yours. But then you get mad when we ask you to be a provider. Well, you don't want to be a provider, stop asking for submission. It's just that simple. And you need to maybe let this system go because you guys created this system solely to say, I'm going to be a provider, I'm going to be a protector, I'm going to be a leader. And if you don't want to fit that bill, then stop asking women to, be submissive and stop walking around here with these patriarchal nonsense because that's what you're literally asking for. And women are telling you, we're not going to be a part of that, whatever you're talking about. We're past all of that gender um, situation. We're past that, and we are past that. So we're here now, and you men need to get with the program. You need to get with the program, and you're not with the program. That not having one of you is literally a flex. Not getting married to you is literally a flex. Having a boyfriend is an embarrassment. It's just so many things here. And the only women who actually want these things with you, what you're talking about, are the pick me's, but you don't even want them. So what are you guys even talking about? You're intimidated by women like myself. You think we're problematic. No, we're not. We just have very high standards. And we know that many of you can't meet those very high standards. So we purposely keep ourselves single because we know that the risk of dealing with one of you is not the reward. And men, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have too much to lose dealing with you guys. I literally do projects all day in my company. I can't break you guys down and dissect you and put you back together. Like I can't do that. No, I can't do that one. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I literally do that in my job where I have to break things down, analyze things, put them back together, figure out this data and that. It's so much. It's so much. It is so much. And I don't have time. I don't have time for that, man. I'm sorry. You guys are like a project, and you don't come with a manual. You don't come with a warning label. You don't come with anything. And women are literally risking it all to deal with you, not knowing what they're dealing with. And I actually had a man tell me, when you're out here dating, it's dangerous. Like, you don't know what kind of man you're going to get. And I was like, holy shit, he's not lying. Yeah, a non-black man told me that. And I'm like, well, sir, what the hell are you saying? He says, I'm just saying, you don't know what kind of man you're going to get when you get out here and you start dating. And I says, holy shit, he's not lying. And we don't know, men, but you guys expect us to trust you and deal with you, and we just don't know what we're going to deal with dealing with one of you. And then he turned around and asked me, do you know how to cook? Because I would really like to show you what a real man looks like. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Hotshot. I mean, he is cute though, but I'm just saying I shouldn't have to go through all of this to prove myself to anyone, and he shouldn't be doing that either. Yes, I told him, no, I don't know how to cook, but I do know how to cook. You know, I'm just not cooking for a man. No, you guys, I do enough of that, like for my kids and stuff like that. And hmm, it's just a challenge dealing with these men. I tell you, it's just a challenge. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna be on the clock for an hour today. Um, and that'll be until the rest of the week, and then going into the weekend, I'll probably take off Sunday. Probably not going to be on the clock on Sunday. And going into Monday, I'm going to be getting prepared to move. Um, and that's it. So I'm on a time frame with some things, and if I do go live, it will be early in the morning, like right now, before I get on the clock, which is normally between 9 and 9:30. The latest that I do get on the clock is around 10 or 10:15. But I do try to be on the clock at least between 9 and 9:30. So that is the plan for today. And I do like to be off roughly around 1 or 2 o'clock on a good day. So um, we'll just see how the day plays out. Yesterday was a pretty good day. I haven't even checked my work phone for any updates or anything from the company. Yes, as you guys know, I had to get a work device because um my current device is not compatible with my work platform, and I had to get a new device. I had to upgrade, and I'm loving the new device. I'm just checking out if there's any notifications from the job. I guess not. So mm, hopefully today isn't a long day, you guys. Um, let's see something here. Hopefully today isn't a long day with work. We shall see. But other than that, I just, wanted to get on here to let you guys know what's going on with men. They're just not they're not understanding that we have to evolve with the changes, and men are just not doing what they need to do to evolve to even be a qualified partner for a woman. And men, this is what happens when you don't do the work. You don't actually do the work because you just having a job and making money and having a car and having a home. We can all obtain those same things. You actually have to come to the table with a little bit more than just your big house and your nice cars and your 600 to 700 credit score. You got to actually come to the table with some emotional intelligence, with some traits that would make a woman go, "Oh, okay, this is rare. And you men are not coming with that kind of spontaneous happiness. You're not. You're not coming with that. You're just coming with money. Oh, I got money. I got a job. I got a car. Okay, we all have that, men. Like, we all have that. I have that. I mean, you got to come to the table with just more than just that. You got to come with some personality, some character. You got to come into a woman's life to make her life better than what she's doing. And you men are not doing that. Why? Because you're too busy competing against women. You're too busy trying to flex, this and that. We don't care about all that anymore. I don't care about your job. I don't care about your money. I don't care about the car. I mean, all of those things are great. I need to know who you are as a person and your character, what your personality looks like. Can you hold an intellectual conversation that's not talking about the color of my underwear and bra? Can you talk about something that makes life more interesting than just talking to you about nothing? Because you're not talking about anything. And most of you are not talking about anything. You're not. You're just boring. You, like I said, no personality, no character, no creativity, nothing. And like I told you guys, with the company that I work for, you literally need to have creativity and critical thinking skills. And they're requiring you to have that, even in the type of work that I do. So why would I deal with another project when I deal with project models all day? Like, I'm not dealing with that. Like, no. And you men need to evolve, and you're not. And that's kind of scary. Because what happens when you don't evolve with the times and where society is shifting, Mother Nature will get rid of you. Uh-oh. Yeah, she will. And she can be a bitch. And this is why all this crazy shit is happening with these earthquakes and tsunamis and wildfires and all of this weird shit that keeps happening. It is because Mother Nature is getting tired of us. And you're going to see all kind of weather abnormalities. And oh god, this year hurricane season is going to be crazy. And this is why you're seeing all of this, because Mother Nature is just trying to get rid of that which no longer serves her, the planet. So if you don't evolve and you don't grow and you don't change and you don't move with society and you don't do the healing and you don't contribute to women who are nature, because women are a part of nature, you're literally, Mother Nature's going to get rid of you. So we're going to start seeing more and more femicide, more and more the S word, more and more marticides, because Mother Nature is getting tired of you low vibrational men and women who will not evolve. Like, you can't be stuck in the same cycle. And these men are trying to take us back to the 1940s, the 1950s. That's not going to work, men. Number one, we don't have the technology for that. We're way past the horse and carriage and all of this stuff you men are trying to, and you're wanting to go back into an era that you yourself have never lived in. How is that going to work out? How is society going to work out like that? And ladies, this is why they're purposely collapsing this society. Don't you see it? They're trying to bring in UBI, which is universal basic income. They're trying to make it to where you're going to literally need the government to make it. And without the government, you're not going to make it. That's what they're trying to do. This is why the birth rates are collapsing. This is why the marriage rates are getting ready to go down, because they want everybody to be under this NWO order, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to lose my channel. And I have been warning y'all what you needed to do to get prepared for this. So if you've been here with me since day one, you know what I've been warning you guys about. Start stocking up on what you need. water and non-perishable foods, that conversation, I can't talk about the NWO. I can't talk about that because when I used to get on here and I used to talk about that topic, people disagreed with me. When I talked about the MOTB, people disagreed with me. It's going to get to the point where if you don't have that thing, the MOTB, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. They're trying to bring us back to a point where I don't know how they're going to do it, but I just know it's being done as I'm talking. They're going to make it to where you're going to be at the mercy of the government. That's literally what that's about. Um, I can't get into these topics, ladies. I can't, not today. Maybe on a different channel that's not associated with this channel. I can talk about it, but I can't talk about it on here. I would definitely lose this channel. Yeah, yeah. So I would advise y'all to start prepping because gas is going to be crazy here. And Monday, gas was $3.21 a gallon, I think, something along that line. Um, yeah, there's going to be a point in time where gas is going to be 8, 10, $12 in your area. It's already hitting in certain places. Um, that price of eggs that are like, I just sent and got some eggs from the store. Um, what was it, less than $2? It's gonna get to the point where your food, your gas, all of these things are gonna be so expensive, and you're not gonna be able to afford it. And it's we're getting to that point right now where the cost of living is just becoming unbearable. You literally have people literally living in RVs and campers and tents and hotels and motels. And it's going to become illegal because they're making it a law here where it's going to be illegal for you to be homeless. And what's going to happen to you is they're going to lock you up. They're going to lock you up and they're going to put you in one of these little Trump camps that Trump has built. So while you guys thought that those little camps were for immigrants, no, those are going to be for U.S. citizens, right? And they're gonna build that, and that's where you're going to be, and you're going to become a part of their slave system. That's what you're going to be a part of. And this is all for entertainment purposes and allegedly until proven to be true. I had to put that disclaimer out there. You're going to be locked up in one of those little camps there, and you'll never see daylight again. You'll never see daylight again. I mean, what is it? Alligator Alcatraz? Is that what it's called? Yeah. You're going to end up in one of those places. And yeah. And they're going to make it to where you folks who are like the homestead life, like me, I like the homestead living. They're going to make it illegal for you to do that too, because the government needs slaves. And you being a working bee requires you to be a part of that slave system that keeps society going. It's like capitalism. Yeah. And when we told you folks to be careful who you voted for at the poll, this is what we were talking about. So what's going on here? They're just trying to redefine slavery all over again. It's just a different way, a new different set of oppressors. I mean, but you guys, when we told you guys to be careful at the poll, know who you're voting for at the poll. This is a once in a lifetime deal. This is what we were talking about. But yeah, that heavy on the MOTB, you don't have that, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. Well, Akina, according to scriptures, the MOTB has to be administered by the AC. Nope. Show me in the Bible where that is legitimately true. Come back and I'll even post a comment in my community wall, and I want you to show me the scriptures that is inaccurate. And you do realize the Bible is not in chronological order. Nope, it's not. And I'm not here to scare any of you people, but it's already been administered. And it's still being administered, even as I'm speaking. No, it's actually evolved. It's evolved into a new thing, but it's been rolling out for the last 6 to 7 years. So the MOTD is already here. It's been here. And it's not your credit card, it's not your cell phone, it's none of those things. Here in a moment and here soon, you'll know what it is. And in so many words, they've already told you what it is, but many of you already have been turned over into a retrograde mind. So even if I did get on here and tell you what it is, you wouldn't still believe me. So it's pointless to even talk about it. But what I will say is I have been warning you guys not to take a certain something or not do a certain something. So you put two and two together and it should give you the number 4. If it gives you the number 5, go back, listen to my older videos, and then come back, and then hopefully you'll have the answer. But yeah, you need to connect the dots. You remember those little puzzles we used to do in elementary where you had to connect 1 to 2, 2 to 3? You need to connect the dots and it'll give you the full picture. Yeah, the MOTB has been here. It's been here. It's rolling. It's literally in the works, and it has a lot to do with this administration. But when I get on here and I start talking about these heavy topics, nobody wants to listen. Um, I'm gonna also tell you this. I think we've been bought and sold to the highest bidder. Uh, it wouldn't surprise me if we wake up one day and we're no longer the United States of America, but we're like the Republic of China or Russia, you may say. I'm being sarcastic. I'm just letting you guys know that one of these good old days we're gonna look back and we're no longer going to be called the United States of America. We might be called the Republic of, I don't know, China, or uh, what is it, North Korea, Republic of something, Congo, or something. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the Gulf of America has been changed to something else. No, the Gulf of Mexico has been changed to the Gulf of America. I'm just saying. It just don't be surprised if this country's name is changed. I mean, the democracy and our constitutions have been played with. Yeah, just don't be surprised, folks. Don't be surprised. If one of these days you wake up and we're no longer called the United States of America, don't be surprised. And my advice would be, if you don't have your passports or your birth certificate, which I do, and I mean, it's literally like almost to pieces. Like, we have, me and my kids, we have our original birth certificate. Don't also be surprised if on that birth certificate your parents are not on there. That may be a problem. That may be a problem. What do you mean by that? What am I saying is, like, where it has your parents' name on there, who are the parents of you, right? Especially with the voting thing, don't be surprised if, like, for single women, for example, this administration may say if you are a single woman, you would need your father's permission to vote, right? And let's say you go to the poll and they tell you to bring your birth certificate. I don't know. This administration is so crazy. You get there and your dad's name is not listed, and then they tell you, oh, you can't vote because your dad's name isn't listed. Or you go there and you're a married woman and your birth name is on there, right? But then you go to vote and you're carrying your husband's last name. Don't be surprised if they tell you you can't vote. I'm just telling you guys how crazy this administration is and what they may do. And no, this is not to give any Republicans any, because they're just creating little ideas from this kind of shit. They'll just take just what I just said and say, "Oh, we can make that a law." Oh my God, should I put this live on private? So don't be surprised if that comes up, ladies. Don't be surprised. And no, I'm not telling you to go and get a new birth certificate or any of that. All right, go add your dad's name to it. I'm just saying how hard they're gonna make it because they don't want women voting at all. Don't you guys get it? They don't want women voting at all. And conservative women are saying, well, if we lose our rights to vote, then left leaning women should be able to lose their rights too. God, I wish I had something to throw at you women's heads. I really wish I did. Just don't be surprised, ladies, if something like this comes up where we are restricted from any kind of voting in this country because of these conservative MAGA people. I swear to God, I can't stand those types of people. Just don't be surprised if something like that comes up. That's all I'm saying. I am telling you to have your passports and have your birth certificates ready and put them in a Ziploc bag because I had to. Yeah. And have multiple copies because I don't know what this crazy administration is going to do next. And they're playing everything literally out of the hands, mate, and tell, which conservatives have said is not true, but it is true. You see what they're doing with the food stamp program, what they're doing the Medicaid and Medicare, Social Security. They're coming for all of the safety notes, the safety nets that would literally put vulnerable people in a very scarcity situation. Um, they don't care about the poor. All they care about is the 1%, the wealthy people, and they're gutting the middle class. So just don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if some crazy law comes out that states that if you're a single woman, after they charge you this tax for being single and not being married, don't be surprised if when the time comes for you to vote and your dad's name is not listed on that birth certificate. And they may even take it a step further and say your dad has to be present with you at the voting booth. I don't want to give any more Republicans any more crazy ideas because it's like they're seemingly running off of a script. Just even if your dad is there and his name isn't on the birth certificate, they may say, well, you say that this is your biological dad to give you permission to vote. His name isn't on the birth certificate. You still can't vote. You guys, this administration is crazy. And I know what I just said was crazy, but they may make that a law, literally. Just do not be surprised. You get at the voting booth, and you are a married woman, and they tell you that you cannot vote. Your husband and your vote has to count as one because it's literally what they're going to do. Oh, and if you're a black man or a black woman, well, yeah, they're coming for the 19th Amendment. So me even talking about this is a waste of time. But I'm just letting you guys know how crazy this administration is. They don't want black women voting. They may even say they don't want the LGBTQ voting either, or any one of marginalized communities. And they only want non-black people to vote, especially non-black men. Because this is why it's important to vote, man. I tell you. You guys, the day that I lose my ability to vote, which I think we're on the horizon, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm getting the hell out of this country because the day that that happens, there's no telling what's going to happen beyond that. And I'm not here to scare you guys, man. I just really wish the Democrats had a did something before they let this monster into the White House because we don't have a chance out here, man. We don't have a chance. And I'm just telling y'all that I really fear for the next generation to come up, like my children, and what the hell they're going to be experiencing if this shit continues. We have to stop this. We have to stop this, you guys. You guys don't want me to tell you what we need to do to stop this, because I would definitely not only lose this channel, I would be sitting in jail. And I don't need that to happen, right? Nah. I'm just telling you guys that what's coming down the pipeline isn't going to be good, man. And when we told you guys, people who saw what was coming, we told you what was coming. You should have been listening. All of you people who thought that Trump was going to make America great again, you do realize he took that slogan from Ronald Reagan, right? And America has never been great. It's just been a business here. He played you guys. He really did. He played you guys, and you actually were the catalyst for what we're getting ready to deal with here. America will never be great again. America is not going back to the way how it used to be, whatever way it used to be. If anything, our best times were in the 80s and the 90s, when food was affordable and things were, life was quality. And I really blame social media for a lot of this bullshit, because you know what? If we didn't have social media, we wouldn't be having all of this gender war stuff going on. None of this stuff would be going on. It's social media that has ruined a lot. That's why nobody wants to date. Because you men, of course, you had to get on the internet and show your disdain for women. Well, we responded, and now everybody knows how everybody feels. And you guys have used social media as a trauma dumping ground. So any and everybody can just get on the internet and use YouTube as a free therapy service. And people just project and they trauma bond and this and that. So we're never really going to go back to the way how things used to be. And that's the point I'm trying to make. We're fucked. We're cooked. There's no coming back from here, you guys. My advice would just be to prepare. Prepare for the unprepared. Prepare for the inevitable, because I think once the winter gets here, when it gets cold and it gets that little cool snap, and food is so fucking expensive, you're gonna be immobilized. You're not gonna be able to go anywhere. Christmas is gonna be canceled. Thanksgiving is gonna be canceled. Mock this live, you guys. Save it, because I promise you, in the next 4 to 5 months from now, you guys are gonna be saying Akina told us so. If I were you right now, I would start stocking up on whatever. I would go ahead and get my turkey, my dressing, whatever you need to get in some kind of way, get it in your house. And yes, it can be done. It can be done, because I preserve things. Get whatever you're going to get and have it stocked up in your house. Your dressing, your trimmings, like I would for real start prepping like that. Because when we leave, I'm definitely gonna get me a ham and a turkey and just have that shit in my deep freezer. And that's typically what I cook for the holidays, but I'm thinking about the long haul with how food is getting expensive, you know, because I can do wonders with that ham and turkey and you guys don't know. I know how to survive for real. Like salmon, my kids don't like that. Huh? Me? I have that shit stocked up in my house, okay? And I make meals with that for real. Like, you guys need to start for real. Y'all need to start prepping. Get your canned goods, get your stuff stocked up. Because we're coming into a point where food is just going to get expensive. And I mean, really expensive, to the point where you're not going to be able to afford what you want. And even when I go to the grocery store and I'm shopping, I'm having to put little things back that I know that I can't afford, because we're on a tight budget over here. But even beyond that, especially with the move and everything, even beyond that, I'm just trying to teach my kids the importance of, we can't always get what we want, you know, because it's getting so expensive to even eat now. No, we don't eat out. My kids were like, "Oh, we want Burger King. We want this." You guys know I don't do those places like that. Um, and I says, no. What did I do yesterday? I made homemade burgers and fries. The beef cost me $16, but we had burgers, we had fries, we ate, and it saved me 30 to 50 fucking bucks, man, like on burgers. By the time I would have gotten what they would have wanted, which were burgers and fries, I would have spent anywhere from 40 to $50. So by me buying the beef, the buns, the condiments, the fries, which I had most of the condiments here, it saved me a whopping $30. At least $30, give or take. I'm just telling you guys, you're gonna have to start teaching your kids, like, we cannot always get what we want. Candy? No, we don't buy candy in this house anymore. No, it's too expensive. When I was in Walmart, which I don't go to Walmart, but my secondary grandma and I went in there and I looked at the little miniature candy right in the bag. $10. I'm like, what? What is this? For 30, you know the little 30 miniature size candy, fun bites, fun, well, they used to call them fun size. I call them little fun bites, right? $10 for a bag of that. Mm-mm. I told my son, don't you dare put your hands on that. He says, why? I said, because if you can't afford it, don't do what? Don't touch it. And that's what I teach my kids. If you can't buy it, don't put your hands on it. Because the minute you put your hands on it, then that means we have to buy it. And that's what I teach my kids so that they can know we can't just go in the store putting our hands on things and touching things. And it'll minimize them from stealing. But not only that, it ingrains in their mind that I'm not going to go and pick something up that I can't buy. And when we go in the store, they say that. Mommy said, if we can't afford it, we can't buy it. Well, yeah, that's what I've taught them. And it helps out for me because I don't have to worry about them putting things in the cart that I know that we can't buy or they don't need. And my son did it Monday. He went there and he picked up the little bites, the little muffin bites, which my kids love. And it's a 767. When the hell have these things gone up? And it was the big variety box of them, like the big pack. And he says, can we get this? I says, I guess we have to get it because you touched it and now we got to buy it. He says, oh my God, we got to buy it. Yeah, we do. He says, I don't have any money. I don't. I says, uh-oh, well, what are you going to do because you touched it? I ended up buying it for him, or them rather. And he immediately came home. Here's the $7 for the. I says, no, honey. No, no. I bought it. You keep your money. They needed snacks, so I just went ahead and got it for them. But the matter of the point is, I teach my kids that so that they don't just go in the store putting their hands on things. You guys need to teach your kids that because we're coming to a point where this stuff is getting expensive. Little Debbie pies, $3 and $4, too expensive. Way, 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 way too expensive for a lot of things that are in that store. And you guys are gonna definitely have to you're gonna have to crack down on this stuff in these stores. Only buy what you need and don't buy frivolous things. People are complaining about how high things are getting and how expensive things are getting. And we're just at that point where we're gonna have to be careful how we spend our money. I've even had to cancel in-app subscriptions because I refuse to spend money on these subscriptions that I don't need. Like Netflix, for example. I'm not gonna go and spend 14 or $15 on Netflix when another app may have what I'm looking for. And I think Netflix is allegedly involved with this whole Epstein thing. So I really wasn't a Netflix fan anyway. So I switched over to a different streaming app. Um, so I'm just telling you guys, what we're gonna have to do. It's just a lot that I'm gonna have to do once we move, and getting extra supplies in the house, um, getting extra things in there to kind of sustain us. Um, because we are in a recession, and I told you guys, when you go to the store, maybe pick up an extra can of this, an extra can of that. Like, I'm making spaghettis this week, right? Hopefully today, if the app unblocks me, because I've been flagged off of one of my apps, it's for security reasons. I'm going to pick up an extra can of spaghetti sauce. You buy one pack of spaghetti noodles, pick up another pack. Try to get what you can and do this weekly, and this stuff will eventually kind of stock up, and you can have extra supplies. Um, you may have to do that to carry you on through the next few weeks to months. That one can of spaghetti sauce and that one pack of noodles can make a meal. And let me tell you something, you can't afford beef? Hey, let me give you another option you can do to make spaghettis without using beef. You can use weenies. You can even use a little smokies. I'm telling you guys, you got to be creative with food. Didn't I tell you guys that? So if you can't afford beef, you can't afford beef, you can always add smoked sausage in your spaghettis. Boom, you have a meal. Yes, the smoked sausage. Here we have Mandas. We have the little beanies. You can always add that in your spaghetti sauce. You can add shredded chicken in there. You guys are going to have to be creative, because I'm telling you, if this beef continues to go up, I'm not going to be buying it too much. And then now they're talking about this worm or whatever that's in it. I don't know nothing about all that, because we do parasitic detoxes in here. So I think the media is kind of lying about that. But you guys are going to have to be creative with food. Um, Even that big roll of ground meat that you would see at Walmart, and I'm not a fan of getting meats from there or anything, but you guys need to start stocking up on stuff like that. You know, the big 5-pound roll of ground beef, and you can make like 6 meals out of that. So depending on how many people are eating, like for my family, I would need at least 2 to 3 rolls of that in my freezer. You got to start, because here in the moment, you can't afford to pay your rent and stuff like that. You guys are going to start selling food out of your house. You're going to be selling that big roll of ground beef for 10 or 20 bucks to make $1. I'm telling you what's getting ready to happen, because people are going to start selling food out of their house to get their bills paid if they're not already doing it. That's how crazy the times we're living in. Um, you're gonna need to start doing that. But yeah, they're gonna start coming for people who are living in RV campers, people who are living off the grid. They're coming for you because they don't want you to live like that. They don't want you to live free away from the government. They want you to be here so that you can be a part of their system, so you can benefit the system. And for everybody who's leaving, you're opting out. Just like with the single and child-free women, the system can't run if people are opting out. People who are not getting married, you're impacting the marriage businesses out here, divorce judges, marriage judges. Like, everybody benefits from us, is what I'm trying to say. Judges benefit from us, um, wedding planners, everybody benefits from our resources in slavery. And it's literally all damn slavery. It is. You working a 9 to 5 job, you getting married, you having a family, it's just slave work, man. It's all slavery. The only people who are free of this system are people who are single, child free, people who are not married, people who own their own businesses, and even that's being impacted under this administration. Small business owners and people who run their own businesses. Not because the government's coming for your business, they're becoming more stricter. They're coming for you because you can make your own money and not have to be taxed. But not only that, the tariffs is what's unaliving people. And if you have to get materials from other countries and how much you're being taxed for those materials. So I just wanted to get on here and share all of this, you guys. I got to get off of here and get this stuff from the store. It's in my cart. You guys just really think about what I'm saying and really prepare here. Um, and the audacity of men to ask women for marriage and this and that when these men just haven't done the work. And I know I'm off topic. You don't get to benefit from these things, men, and not do the work. And with all of the issues that are going on right now, why would we want to get married or have families right now with you? This is not safe under the system, and we're definitely not safe with many of you. So, anyways, I'm going to get off of here. These problems that I'm talking about contribute to everything. Okay. You guys have a good week. I'll see you guys in the next one, maybe the weekend. I'll be back on here or closer to the end of the week. You guys take care, be safe, get prepared, do what you need to do, and I'll see you guys in the next